Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. We've got some intriguing developments coming out of the Giants camp this offseason. It's a story that's really shaping up to be a pivotal moment for the team's future, especially on the offensive side of the ball. The Giants are heavily relying on their young wide receiver core to step up and make a difference this season. But there's also a strong possibility they could bring in a veteran presence to bolster that group. And that veteran, interestingly enough, is someone who's been in the league for a few seasons now, Gabe Davis. That's right, Davis remains available in the market, and the Giants have shown interest in him earlier this offseason. See, after trimming the roster down to the initial 53 players, the team has a core of young, talented receivers like Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Jalen Hyatt. These names are promising, but they come with some uncertainties. Neighbors, for example, has demonstrated some insane athleticism and upside, but unfortunately, he's been battling through injuries throughout the offseason and preseason. That's a concern for any team looking for consistency at this stage of the season. Meanwhile, Robinson and Hyatt are more like projections. They don't yet have the extensive NFL track record of top production, and that's something that can't be overlooked. When you look at the overall picture, it's rare for an NFL team's initial 53-man roster to closely resemble the team that takes the field in Week 1 or 2. Injuries, coaching decisions, and ongoing evaluations often lead to mid-season tweaks. Still, there's a compelling case for the Giants to consider bringing back a veteran like Gabe Davis. In his 5 seasons, Davis has accumulated 183 receptions for 969 yards and 29 touchdowns. A pretty solid resume for a receiver who's still in his prime. His size, experience, and familiarity with the league could provide that veteran stability and consistency that young receivers sometimes lack early in their careers. Now, why does this make so much sense? Well, as Giants reporter Art Stapleton pointed out, considering the current makeup of the roster, adding a player like Davis could fill some gaps and give quarterback Daniel Jones a reliable target. It's not just about adding numbers. It's about adding a player who can step in and produce when needed, especially during those critical moments in games when experience and clutch performances matter. And let's be honest, in a division as competitive as the NFC East, every edge counts. The Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders all have their weapons, and the Giants need to ensure they're not left behind in the passing game. But it's not only about the receivers. The team's overall strategy this season also involves developing their young talent, but as Stapleton mentioned, there's a lot of projection involved. Neighbors has shown incredible athleticism, but injuries have hampered his ability to get consistent reps. Robinson and Hyatt are still unproven at the NFL level, and that's where a veteran like Davis could come into play, providing mentorship, stability, and a proven track record. It's a smart move, especially considering how important pass-catching options are in today's NFL, where the game is increasingly reliant on explosive plays and reliable hands. Switching gears a bit, let's talk about some other interesting developments involving the Giants roster, particularly with one of their most promising young defensive stars, Kayvon Thibodeaux. Now, Thibodeaux has been a hot topic in recent months, not just because of his potential, but also due to the trade rumors swirling around him. The former first-round pick from Oregon has shown flashes of dominance on the field, but he's also looking to take his game to the next level in 2025. What's fascinating about Thibodeaux this offseason is how he's preparing differently. Instead of sticking to traditional training methods, he's adopted an unconventional approach, wrestling. Yes, you heard that right. Thibodeaux has been spending time wrestling, working on expanding his pass rush arsenal and improving his physicality. He recently shared with reporters that the idea is to better replicate the sacking of quarterbacks, something you can't fully simulate with just drills and bag work. Especially on the quarterbacks, until you actually get in the game, That's the only time we actually get to replicate sacking a quarterback, he explained. I've been wrestling a little bit, taking some guys to the ground. I've been on bags and stuff, working on my tackling earlier in the season. That's a huge sign of a player who's willing to go the extra mile, pushing himself beyond the typical training routines. And it's no secret that Thibodeaux has been the subject of trade speculation in recent months. His talent is undeniable. He's got the potential to be a game-changing pass rusher, especially alongside a loaded front seven that includes Brian Burns and Abdul Carter. With 5 sacks last season, Thibodeaux is aiming to build on that and really establish himself as a dominant force in the league. It's a contract year for him, and he's clearly motivated to make a statement. Now, some rumors suggest the Giants might consider trading him, especially if they believe they can get significant value in return. But for now, Thibodeaux's focus is on improving his game and making a splash in 2025. His aggressive offseason training signals a player determined to leave a mark, whether that's with the Giants or elsewhere. The team's defensive coordinator and coaching staff are certainly counting on him to take a leap forward, especially considering the importance of pass rushers in today's NFL. This leads us to a broader conversation about the Giants' strategy for the upcoming season. They've invested heavily in developing young talent, both offensively and defensively. The quarterback Daniel Jones is entering a crucial phase of his career, and the success of the passing game will hinge on how well these young receivers can step up and how effectively the offensive line can protect him. The addition of a veteran like Gabe Davis could be the missing piece that unlocks the passing attack, giving Jones a reliable target who can make plays in key moments. On the defensive side, Thibodeaux's evolution and the front seven's ability to generate pressure will be vital. The Giants' defense has shown flashes of brilliance, especially when it comes to rushing the passer, but consistency has been an issue. Thibodeaux's offseason work, his dedication to improving his craft, and his potential to become a double-digit sack artist could be instrumental in anchoring that pass rush. And let's not forget about the division. The NFC East is arguably the most competitive division in the NFL right now, with teams that are not only talented, but also deeply motivated to dominate. The Eagles, for example, have one of the best rosters in the league, and the Cowboys are always a threat with their disciplined defense and explosive offense. The Commanders are also looking to build on their recent improvements. For the Giants, staying competitive means not only developing their roster but also making strategic moves, like exploring a reunion with Gabe Davis or other veterans. That could give them that additional edge. Looking ahead, the Giants' plans for the season are clear. They want to be aggressive, versatile, and ready to adapt as the season unfolds. The coaching staff, led by head coach Brian Daboll, is known for their strategic ingenuity and ability to get the best out of their players. The key will be how well they can balance developing their young talent while also bringing in experienced players who can contribute immediately. The potential addition of Davis could be a game changer, especially in tight games when veteran savvy often makes the difference. In terms of expectations, fans are hopeful. After a solid but somewhat inconsistent 2024 campaign, the goal is to take that next step and push for a playoff spot. The NFC East is stacked, but the Giants have the pieces to compete if everything clicks. The development of players like Neighbors, the potential return of a veteran receiver, the improvement of Thibodeaux, and the strategic moves made by the front office will all play crucial roles. This season could very well be a turning point, a season where the Giants re-establish themselves as a formidable force in the league. Now, as we look at the big picture, it's important to remember that roster decisions, injuries, and game day performances will ultimately determine how far this team can go. But what's clear is that the Giants are making all the right moves to position themselves for a strong run. The interest in Gabe Davis signals an understanding of the importance of experience and proven production, especially at a position as critical as wide receiver. Coupled with the growth and development of their young talent, this team is quietly building a foundation for sustained success. And let's not forget the leadership coming from players like Daniel Jones, who's entering a defining phase of his career. The offensive line's ability to hold up and give him time will be crucial, as will the receiver's ability to create separation and make plays downfield. The defensive front, with Thibodeaux aiming to become a dominant force, will need to generate pressure consistently. If all these pieces come together, the Giants could surprise a lot of people this season. They've got the talent, the coaching, and the motivation. It's about putting it all together at the right time. So, fans, this offseason and the early stages of training camp have been filled with interesting developments, and they point to a team that's hungry for success. The potential reunion with Gabe Davis, the innovative training methods of Thibodeaux, and the ongoing development of the young wide receivers all tell a story of a team that's not resting on its laurels, but actively looking to improve and elevate their game. The NFC East remains one of the most competitive divisions in the league, but the Giants are quietly positioning themselves to challenge for the top spot, to make a playoff push, and perhaps most exciting of all, to make a real run at another Super Bowl. This is a team that's evolving, that's strategic, and that's determined to turn the page from their recent history. The next few months will be crucial in shaping the narrative, whether they succeed in bringing in that veteran receiver like Gabe Davis, whether Thibodeaux continues his upward trajectory and becomes a true difference maker, and whether the young receivers can step into bigger roles and deliver in critical moments. Every move, every game, every play will be part of that story. And as Giants fans, we should be excited because the foundation is there, and the potential is enormous. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. Do you think they should bring back Gabe Davis? What are your expectations for Thibodeaux this season? Do you believe the young receivers will step up and make a difference? I'm eager to read all your insights because this team is about us, the fans, and the passion we bring to every game. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and more news on your beloved Giants. Stay tuned, stay loud, and let's keep the faith alive. Because this season, the Giants have a real shot at greatness.